Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and I have found yet another question that is more suited for a separate video than it is for the Q&A. And this guy wrote me a question and he's asking about global cooldown. Why is it there? He kinda understands that it balances out instant spells and stuff like that, but he's not quite sure, and he's asking what would happen if we were to remove global cooldown from the game. And he actually kinda got it right. Global cooldown, one of the reasons why it's there is to balance out instant spells that don't have their own cooldown. So spells such as Sunfire and Moonfire, if you don't have a global cooldown, these spells become a lot more powerful. And what would happen if we were to remove global cooldown is Blizzard would have to set individual cooldown for every single spell. It's much easier to just have a global cooldown that reduces the power and the potency of these instant cast spells. But to fully understand why a global cooldown is there and the consequence of removing this global cooldown, you need to understand how the game communicates with the server and basically what happens when you press a button. So, there are a couple of ways to kind of deal with this. There is a prediction system which is most present in FPS games, where the game predicts what happens and then it confirms with the server. But that's not how World of Warcraft works. The game has no prediction. When you press a button, the game needs to ask the server if it's valid, if the spell can be casted. Then at the end of a cast, the game needs to ask once again if the cast is finished, and after that it needs to ask the server how much damage it did, if it missed, and if it crit, and stuff like that. And here's an example. When you're facing away from a training dummy and you press a spell that you can cast, your character will go into a casting animation, but if you're lagging, it will take a while before the game tells you that you're facing the wrong way. That's because when you're lagging, it takes a lot longer for the game to ask the server and for the server to reply. So you basically press the button, and the one thing the client can do is put you in the casting animation. But then it has to ask the server, and it has to get a confirmation that yes, he's facing the right way, or no, he's not facing the right way. So that delay between you entering the casting animation and the game telling you that you're facing the wrong way is the time it takes for the game to ask the server and for the server to reply. Another more common example is just casting lag. You press a button and there is a delay before your character starts casting the spell. Then there might be a delay at the end of the cast because once again the game is waiting for the server to reply, and after that, which is the least common, there might be a delay between your spell hitting the target and the damage number appearing and the game actually calculating the damage done to a particular monster. And there is a reason behind all of this nonsense, trust me. So imagine this scenario. We have a warrior. We have two warriors, let's just say. They have an ability called Heroic Strike. They have full rage, which means 100 rage, and the Heroic Strike ability uses 10 rage, which means they can cast Heroic Strike 10 times in a row. Now, we don't have a global cooldown, alright? And we have two people playing these warriors. One of them lives really close to the game servers and has a really sweet latency. The ping is amazing. It's so damn fast. We have another guy that lives really far away, and it takes longer for his game to ping the server, and it takes longer for the server to reply. Now that creates a scenario where the guy that lives closer to the game servers can actually use the ability faster than the guy that lives far away. Because his game is faster and the server can reply faster, that means that if he uses 10 heroic strikes, the other guy that lives far away in the same amount of time can use, let's just say, 6 heroic strikes, depending on his internet connection and on the latency he's getting. And global cooldown is there to fix this, okay, to mask this. Because when we add a global cooldown, suddenly both of those guys, even though one of them lives really close to the game servers and one of them lives really far away from the game servers, they can both use the ability 10 times within the same amount of time. And yeah, that's that. That's what global cooldown does. So first of all, it's a great tool for Blizzard, so they don't have to add cooldown to every single ability. It's much easier to just have a global cooldown, but more importantly, it creates a leveled playing field, and it basically prevents you from being at a disadvantage because you live farther away than, you know, Jimmy over there who lives really close. And I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a technical talk. If you have any more questions, you can always post them in the comment section below this video. And I have one more thing to talk about. So, here it is. By the way, this next part is not about World of Warcraft, so if you're not interested, you can tune out, but I thank you for watching anyway. I hope you enjoyed it. And this next part is about Orcs Must Die 2. I thought today about starting a new playlist that would be just kind of random, you know. It wouldn't be like a weekly thing or a monthly thing. I would basically release a video when I feel like it. And what would it be? It'd be called, you better sit down, Murderous Mods, which is a stupidly good name. It would basically be just me playing Orcs Must Die 2, the endless mode, with a couple of mods and with a ridiculous loadout. Okay, so if I find a good combination of mods that works on a particular endless map, and I can have some ridiculously stupid loadout and it actually works, I would just record it. I would kind of cut it, so you don't have to watch me play that for 2 hours. But I would kind of cut it and, you know, just release it there as sort of a fun thing. It would be live commentary probably, but that's the idea. If you would like something like that, you know, let me know, because there is no point of me doing that if you don't like it or if you're not interested. So if there is some interest for it, I will release one episode. I will see, you know, if people like it or if there is absolutely no interest in it whatsoever, and, you know, I will either continue doing it or I will just stop. So that's that. But anyway, thank you a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.